So in last lecture, we have studied four important P's of software project management. It is people, process, product, and project. Now today we'll start with the software metrics. So first of all, what is metric? So we can say that a metric is one kind of a measure. Uh, a measure for software, different kinds of software characteristics which can be measurable or countable. So we need to measure something, we need to measure those characteristics. For that, we have this feature metrics. And software metrics are, you can say, the valuable for many reasons, uh, like in terms of software performance, planning your work items, uh, to measure your productivity, and there are so many other reasons that they are important. Then within this software development process, many metrics are there can be possible that there are many metrics possible which are connected with each other. Okay, so software metrics are similar to basically four functions of management, and that is planning, organization, control, and improvement. We basically try, we basically always try to improve our performance. Okay, so we just check all those functionality in order to improve our performance from the previous performance. So it revolves around these four things, that is planning, organization, control, and improvement. Now, this software process and product metrics are quantitative measures that enable software people to gain insight into the efficiency of software process and the projects that are conducted using the software, using the process as a framework. So you can say these are one type of metric is one type of measuring tool, management tool, and they offer insight into the effectiveness of the software process, how effective your process as a framework which you have selected. So it is just offering insight into the effectiveness of your software process into your projects that are conducted using that particular process as a framework. Basically, the quality and productivity we are measuring of our product, and you can say of our entire project. Okay, what are the cost estimation of our project and everything. So this basic quality and productivity data are collected, and you can say then those data are analyzed, compared against your past averages, or you can say your if you are developing a similar kind of project to which uh, the project which you have already developed earlier, now you are just doing some kind of enhancement or similar kind of project. So you can say that whatever the quality and productivity data that you have collected for that previous project, you can analyze those data, you can compare those data with your current project's data, and basically you are doing some sort of assessment. So the main goal is to determine whether your quality and productivity has been improved or not. Okay, so uh, after that, whatever you have come to the conclusion, whether it is improved or not improved, you can do some kind of enhancement, or you can take some kind of steps to improve that. So this type of things can also helpful in terms of software project management to pinpoint your problem areas. Okay, and then the remedies can be developed on the basis of those problems, and the software process can be ultimately improved. So that's what about the use, or you can say the advantage of this metric. Now, what is the goal of the metric? So you can say that to improve, as I told you, to improve the product quality and development team productivity, you can use this metric. So it is basically concerned with productivity and quality measures, and these measures of software development output as a function of effort and time, whatever the efforts or the time your whole development team, or you can say whatever the time that has been put up for that particular project, you can measure all those things for your software development, whatever the outcome or end product is there. You can measure all those things in terms of like time or your cost or your productivity. So we can say that's our goal, to improve our productivity, to improve our quality. It is one kind of measure of how usable your things are. Okay, whether your software, whatever you have developed, has usability, reliability or not. So that's you can sum it up as your goal of your metric. There are some terms related to this metrics. When we talk about this metrics, these terms we come across. The first one is measure. So what is measure? So quantitative expression of an attribute. You can say your attribute or your characteristic of a product or process. Example like a number of defects found in component testing, or you can say the number of cycles you have done for that particular task. So all those output of that quantitative expression or quantitative measure, you can say that quantitative expression, whatever the output is, that is your measure of that attribute, measure of that product, measure of that attribute or measure of that characteristic of your product or process. Then there comes measurement. So what is that? So the act of determining a measure. That act is known as the measurement, like collecting the defect counts, okay, counting line of code. So all this thing is known as the measurement. Then metric. So according to this IEEE Standard Glossary of Software Engineering Terms, your metric is defined as a quantitative measure of the degree to which a system, component, or process possesses a given attribute. Okay, whatever that attribute, whatever that characteristic is there, which your system is having, which your component or process or product is having, that is known as your metric. And whatever the output of that attribute is, that the quantitative expression of that is known as measure. And the act of measuring that particular attribute or particular thing is known as measurement. Like the metric is like the defects found in component testing, so that is your metric. Now the uses of measurement. So software metrics basically refers to a range of measurements for your computer software that can enable software people to gain insight into your project. So you can say that this measurement can be applied to your software process with the intention of improving it on a continuous basis to improve that particular sort of thing. Then this type of measurement can be used throughout a software project to assist in estimation or quality control, productivity assessment, project control. It can also be used to help assess the quality of software work products and to assist in some technical decision making as a project process as we further goes deep down in our project. So the measurement is basically used for to handle all of these things. Now, how are these metrics used? So you can say that there's, as I told you, that whatever the measures you are taking, you are just going to compare it with some, you are going to analyze them, you are going to compare it with your previous data, and you basically comes to some conclusion that how you are going to improve or what should you do, what should you have to do uh, so that you can improve it basically. So these measures are often collected by those software engineers and used by software managers, and they are just analyzed. These measurements are analyzed compared to your past measurements, and for you consider similar kind of projects to make it more better, to make better estimates, and to so basically to match up with your trends, ongoing trends in the market. You just work on them. So these are some reasons for measuring software process, products, and resources. The first one is the first one is to characterize in order to gain an understanding of your process, products, resource, your environment, and you just basically uh, characterize in order to establish some kind of baselines for your comparisons with comparisons of your past measurements with your future measurements or comparison between the past assessments and future assessments. So that is also one reason that that we measure our software process, products, and resources to characterize them with the intention of gathering the understanding for your process, for products, environment, and basically to establish some kind of baselines for our the comparisons between our past experience, or you can say the future, or you can say past measurements with the future assessments. Also, the another one thing is to evaluate. So to evaluate in order to determine the status with respect to plan, whatever you have planned, you have decided at the very first time when you are about to start your project, you are going to start working on a tiny detail of your project. You just need to, after some time, you need to keep track that whatever you have planned uh, and whatever your current status is there, is it according to your plan or not. Then the third thing is to predict. So to predict in order to predict in order to gain understanding of your of the relationships between the process between the products. We just need some help, some sort of metrics or measure to understand the relationship between how your process is working for your product, whatever the framework or whatever the kind of umbrella activities which you have selected, whether it is working great for your product or not. So, to predict in order to gain understanding of the relationships among processes, products, build some kind of models of these relationships. Then the next is to improve. To improve in order to identify some kind of roadblocks, root causes, inefficiencies, bugs, defects, and some kind of other things, some kind of opportunities to improve, basically to improve the product quality and your overall overall performance of your process which you have selected for your project. So to improve them, to improve the performance, to improve the quality, to deal with those defects, inefficiencies, root causes, bugs, or whatever the things which come across in our route in developing this project, you can have some metrics to improve those things. So these are some of the reasons that why we need to measure the software process, product, and resources. Now, metrics basically applied to three three areas. You can say three domains: the process, project, and product. We know that process is used to develop the software. Project is a specific software development your project, and product is the software which we have produced or which we are going to produce. So it is also said that many of these same metrics apply to both the process and project domains. Okay. Now, so as I told you, there are three domains of software metrics. First one is product. So this product metrics or the product measurements basically relate with it is related with the software product and all of the things related with that product or the artifacts. These are the, you can say, these product metrics are the measures of various characteristics, various attributes of your software product. Basically, they are related with the product. And the two important software characteristics are the size, on the basis of which we are going to assess that particular product. So that is the size and complexity of software, and other one is quality and reliability of software. So these are the metrics that used for product quality, and they are basically used to measure the cost, quality, products time, products time taken, and how it is going to work in the market. So it is also going to focus on products functionality, performance, design features, all the deliverables related to product that is going to be measured using this product metric. Then there comes process metric. So this uh, this process metric measures used to quantify your characteristics of your software process. So we can say that to check the quality of your process, we can use this process measure. These are the metrics that uh, that is used to measure the effectiveness of your process. They are usually related with the events or the things or processes that that is occurred in your project, like defects found in taste, number of defects found in taste, or whatever the number of tastes that you have performed. Okay, for your particular task, the number of times the requirement has changed, like how many days you have taken to complete certain task. So we can say that to measure the efficiency, the effectiveness of your process, and basically to check its quality, the characteristic or attribute of your software process, we have this process metrics. After that, the project. So these are the metrics that is related with project quality. It is basically used to manage the software project tactics. They are used to quantify the defects, cost, schedule, productivity, estimation of various project resources and deliverables. So to keep track of your cost of your overall project, the schedule, whether it is working as per the schedule decided or not, and the main thing is the estimation, cost estimation, productivity. So all those things related to entire project and the resources. So we can have this project metrics. We can use the project metrics to quantify them. And you can say that estimating cost is the first application of your project metrics, like estimating the software development time based on the based on your past projects. So that is also one kind of project metric. Now let's see the process metric in more detail first. So So the process metrics are collected across all projects and for the long period of time, and they are used for making some strategic decisions. The main intention, you can say, is to provide a set of process indicators that lead to the long-term software process improvement. And the one way by which we can know that we can improve this process, or how we can improve the process, is to measure the specific attributes of the process. The main aim behind this is to uh, the main aim behind this is to improve your software process which you are using for your project. So the one way is to measure your specific attributes of the process, and then you can develop a set of meaningful metrics based on those attributes. You can use those metrics to provide indicators that will ultimately can lead you to a successful strategy so that you can improve your process. And we can measure the effectiveness of the process by delivering this particular set of metrics based on the outcomes of the process, like uh, errors uncovered before release of the software, then defects delivered to and reported by the end users, work products delivered, human effort expended, then calendar time expended, conformance to the schedule. time and effort to complete each generic activity. So we can measure the how effective our process is on the basis of by delivering this set of metrics based on the outcomes of our process. So which can provide us, you can say, it is one form of providing a regular feedback to the individuals, or you can say to the whole team who has corrected these metrics or measures. But we have to keep in mind that we should not use the metrics to evaluate the individuals. Okay, we should not use the metrics to uh, to give the threat to any individual or teams. We have to work with the teams, practitioners to set some kind of clear goals, to set some kind of clear objectives and metrics. Uh, and we have to together, the whole team has to together set some kind of metrics or goals so that that can be achieved at the end. We can work together towards to achieve that particular goal, but we should not use the metrics to evaluate individuals or uh, to threaten them. Okay, because all these things, these metrics will ultimately going to provide us some feedback, uh, feedback about about our process, and this metrics data indicate indicating or indicate some kind of problem, so that we should work upon it. We should work to improve that particular problem. And also we should not give focus of one single metric, so that by giving some more attention to that particular metric, we somehow exclude the other important metrics, or we cannot give that much importance to other actually important metrics. So we should not do that. That we should only work upon to improve the output of that metric, of that particular attribute or particular characteristic of your process. We should not run behind a single metric. And there are two types of process metrics: public metrics and private metrics. So software process improvement should begin at the individual level, since this private process data can serve as an important driver as the individual software engineer works works in the direction of improving that particular process data. So some process metrics are private to the software project team, but it can be, if we talk about this public metrics, so you can say that some process metrics are private to the software project team, but they are public to all team members. Like um, defects, whatever the defects reported for your major functions, major software functions that have been developed by a number of practitioners, or you can say the errors found during the formal technical reviews and line of code or function points per module. So you can say all those things are uh, on all those things many people have worked. So this data are reviewed by the team to uncover some indicators that can ultimately improve the team performance. So you can say when this process metrics, you can say the process metrics are private to to the specific software project team, but In that team, that particular metric is public for all the team members who are there in that particular software project team. But others are not aware about the team except that uh, particular thing, particular other team are not aware about that metrics. So that is the private metric, and the public metrics are generally, you can say, um, publicly available to the whole organization, and it is used to improve an organization process maturity and with contact level defect rate, okay, then effort, then schedule time, calendar time, and some other related data are collected, evaluated in an attempt to uncover your indicators that can improve the organizational process performance. Okay, so the attributes or characteristics which are not absolutely belongs to one particular individual, but it is a uh, but it is related to whole project, like about the activity, effort, calendar time, or schedule time. All those things you can say are made publicly available to the whole organization, and it is and those public metrics are they are used to improve an organization process, or you can say the organization process performance. So this private metric, we can say, the process metrics are said to be private to the software team, to the software project team, but it is public to all team members, all of the team members of that specific software project team. And these public metrics are generally made public to the whole organization. In that, we can say the aim in in private metrics, we can say the whatever the data are collected, that are reviewed by the team, that software project team, to uncover the indicators that can improve that team's performance. Whereas in this public metric, we can say that whatever the data that are collected and evaluated, reviewed, are reviewed by that whole organization with the aim to uncover the indicators that can improve your organizational process performance. So that is this difference between private and public metrics. Basically, that is public metric is made public to the organization, and private metrics are those that are private to the software project team but public to all team members. So software process metrics can provide significant benefit as an organization works to improve the overall level of your process maturity. Now the second one is the project domain. We'll continue that in the next lecture.